Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Marina. I'm coming from Germany, and I'm the CEO and founder of Leroma. It's a B2B platform for food ingredients. I have been working in the food processing industry for the last 10 years, and I would like to tell you a story, a case from my client. It was an ice cream manufacturer, and he had a production order to produce ice cream with flavor of pistachios, and with 2mm cutted pistachios. He was looking for a supplier. He found on the market 4mm cutted pistachios or 8mm, but not the 2mm ones. And after 2 months of sourcing, he lost his production order. And while not only using the pistachios, he couldn't use other ingredients like milk powder and flavor and functional ingredients for his big production order. And it was a total waste where he had food ingredients waste. He had to bring it to the disposal. And it is a number of one manufacturer waste for a special period. It was 7 tons. But the problem is much bigger. So we have worldwide 1.6 billion tons of food waste every year, and the number is rising. And therefore, I had to build Leroma by providing my customers with a procurement tool, with a search engine for food ingredients. And the second part of our platform is a surplus exchange for reducing food waste by giving food ingredients and primary products further, not only within the food processing industry. So we give products like coffee, which is not food grade anymore. We give it to the cosmetic industry. So we try to do the waste upcycling. Our USP is a search engine and the marketplace for surpluses. And this is one database. And the USP is that food technologies and the buyer of a food production company can filter by specialist criteria, like if a product is thermostable, natural, or water soluble. And our business model is that we have subscription models for our SaaS procurement tool, and commission of, like eBay, when we have a successful selling of products and surpluses. And of course, in the future, the data, because we will know first what kind of ingredients are short in supply, what kind of ingredients are being sourced, and how many and what kind of ingredients in what regions are being wasted. The market for the digital procurement is very attractive, and we are planning in the next 3 years with an ARR about 15 million euros for Leroma. And the food waste upcycle, it's a very interesting topic, especially when we go to the neighboring industries and connect with cosmetic, pharmaceutical, cleaning industry, and also construction business. You cannot imagine, just a few weeks ago, we transferred soya textura to the construction business, and they made out of walls, they made out of soya and soya products walls being used in the in houses, and this is amazing. And the market of side streams and upcycling topics is unpredictable for today. So for today, we are a very young startup based in Düsseldorf, but we have already almost 700 customers trusting us, buying ingredients and selling and buying surpluses because we have a commodity shortage. And we have, our amount of saved food and food ingredients is about 800 tons so far, since 1 year operating on the market. We are a team of tech and food technologists experts coming from the food industry and from the upcycling topics. And we are raising currently our seed round. It's our first investment. And of course, also, I would love to have connections with partners and stakeholders. And yeah.
Time is up.
Thank you.
And thank you as well, Marina, for sharing everything about what you guys are doing at Leroma. Let me bring back our investors, Fabian and Alex, and I will let them take the first question since they are our esteemed panel, and I will add my questions afterward.
Great.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marina. Super interesting. And maybe my first question is on, because given that it's typically quite low value but the high volume goods that you are handling, it seems like, how do you think about the logistics and like sorting? Will the marketplace be more local in different regions, or do you actually see that people source long distances?
Yeah, so thank you. It's a good question. So first of all, we are in since many years in a globalization when it comes to food ingredients. Well, like in Germany, we buy pepper, which is being grown in India. And we have the marketplace is being there for handling the get together, the matchmaking and finding each other, especially on the side of food producers, because their daily business is to buy ingredients and to produce food and to sell the food. And when they have leftover, like in the warehouse, like 10 tons, 50 tons or 100 tons, and they're like, okay, it's like 2% margin of our part, and they throw it away because it's not the daily business to sell ingredients. And this is a main problem we are trying to tackle. With the transportation, the great idea is, especially now in the shortage of ingredients, through our platform you can find ingredients which you don't need to import from China, for example, because it's too far away. We have like problems with containers. We have production time increased from 4 weeks up to 5 months right now, and it's a big problem for all European producers. So the idea is to see locally and more in the regional part where there is a supplier or maybe a surplus which I can buy quickly and don't wait for the production time, and save, of course, on the transport and the time.
Cool. And on a marketplace, it's always a question on both supply and demand. Like, what has been your focus so far? Is it securing supply or accessing demand?
Yeah, so we have two business models for the search engine. Of course, we will earn the money later on when we have more traffic. And for having this gap overall, we built a crawler where we crawl B2B results from supplier websites to have more products available. And we kind of focus right now very deeply on the surplus exchange, where we go to big corporates through open doors, because we help them not only to be sustainable, but save money and making sustainability profitable. So this is where we want to concentrate with Leroma for the next 2 years, while we're having the customers, helping them to sell surpluses. We help them also to buy regular products on a regular supplier relationship.
Okay. And then what is the most challenging? Is it to actually find the supply or to find a buyer for the supply?
It depends on the product. So we are like now collecting all data. We are receiving about 800 monthly searches. And that means that we know already what kind of products are short in supply, are being needed on the market. And the surplus exchange, there's of course the challenge to bring the customer to that point that he has been throwing away since 30 years the products, and to say it's only a small margin, but to convince him to try our eBay and to be sustainable, and not only for selling but buying. And of course the digitalization, because it's an undigitalized area. The food industry, especially at the beginning of the value chain, is very undigitalized, and there are not a lot of market players being involved for providing also digital solution. Any more questions?
I'll hand over to Alex. I assume he has some very smart questions.
I'm trying now. It's first of all, congrats. I mean, the traction that you put up so far, it's very impressive. Actually, my first ever investment was also in the food waste space. So I know the immensity of the problem. I was just wondering, there's the whole topic around waste to value is a very interesting one, but oftentimes constrained by supply of biomass of some sort. Is that a business area which you also want to explore? Because I have the feeling that's the natural extension of what you're doing right now, kind of.
Yeah, this is like the advantage of using a B2B platform for all kinds of suppliers, like big players and also like small farmers, because we can pool the sellers and also pool the buyers. So we create like seller alliances so they can put together all the waste, for example, and give it to one processor, because the processors, I'm coming from the processing industry and they need like a regular supply of big amount. And yeah, this is possible by going to associations. And for example, when we have one farmer who is producing asparagus in Germany, all of the farmers have 30% of waste and they are trying to find a solution. And we collect all the farmers, they are very well connected. And we tell them we have a solution for a processing topic to save your asparagus harvest. They are on board, and this is how we go, yeah, category by category and industry by industry. So right now we are focusing on long durable products, not fresh products, but of course in the future we will have a lot of fresh products on the marketplace as well.
Understand. And can you talk a bit more about your current traction, where you stand in terms of also revenue-wise? How big are you guys?
Yeah, so we started last year in January with our surplus exchange, where we made a 140K turnover with surplus trading, and this year it's already about 600K. And the traction is we have almost 700 food producers, ingredient suppliers, traders on the platform. And most of them are buying and selling, and we expect yeah, a revenue with mainly customers. They are like active. It's only 20% by now, because the corporates need longer time to put it on board in their company. So we are expecting with those customers a revenue about 1.5 million. And yeah, it's a trading volume, so we have different margins. It depends on the product, depends on the commission we charge.
Super interesting. And are you funding need for this round? What is this?
So we are looking for our first investment, about 1 million. And yeah, we are looking for yeah, smart money to connect us with other sustainable companies, or also technology to implement to the platform. So we think in circular economy, and of course also in platform economy. So you asked me before about transportation. So there are big issues in terms of suppliers and verification of specifications and certificates, which we could implement into the platform. So our goal is to meet yeah, partnerships where we can build up. We don't want to build everything by ourselves, and it would not make sense. So it's starting with a payment provider, because the margins are very low in the food industry, and going to OCR solutions by scanning specifications and audits, which we can implement to the platform. And yeah. Any more?
Exciting. Thanks, Marina. And
a question from my side, is there any type of B2C play in this where you can leverage or arbitrage the inventory that you don't have B2B buyers for to then have almost like a Groupon of asparagus deal. So people can buy real cheap vegetables and fruits on a as needed basis, or you sell into farmers markets or something.
Yeah, this approach we are not looking for, because there are other players to do that, and we want to stay in the industry where we save at the beginning of the value chain, not finished goods, but products which can be still processed or upcycled, or even if it's downcycled, but still saved from being burned or destroyed. No, we will stay in the B2B segment, and our latest step in the supply chain could be, which was in the Corona pandemic, very much the case, the gastronomy sector, where we had customers which bought a lot of things like in big bulks, because there's also industry where you can unpack these big bulks and still produce and process it.